see and hear us. And tweeting, shoink, and shrink. All right, that's done. All right.
Where am I opening it?
Somebody asked a question about a good salon on the bra page, so I need to respond.
Yes. There we go. All right. Did we get Where in the Galaxy is SEMA San Diego?
Of course we did.
On SOTOR. But did she do Where in the Galaxy? Nope. She did Where in the World, so...
World, yes.
I got it. There we go. Okay, Where in the Galaxy.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, we're in the... Oh, yeah, let me update my...
I got it. Oh, you got it?
Okay, cool. I get it. I'm right there.
Okay. Let me check Twitch. Twitch looks good. That's McCullough. That's Dux. That's Maylong. That's Mewcow. That's me. All right. All right. It says...
Ezric can see and hear us.
Yay! That's half the...
Thank you, Kaz.
95% of the battle.
Right?
Not a complete mess. A partial. At least the cat circle's gone.
But don't we have a 4 black cat minimum in this show?
We do, but it's over here now. So the Stargate has been moved.
Okay.
Yeah. Did you get your care package from Rachel?
I did.
Okay, good. Yeah, I didn't know if she'd stopped by yet, so I've been messaging her, and I'm like...
No, she definitely did.
I was like, ping me. And she's like, oh, I already stopped by a few hours ago. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yep.
So, cool.
Ow.
What's wrong? Oh, arm.
Yeah.
Oh, shoot. I should bring you Tylenol. I'll be right back, and then we can get
that'd
started.
be great.
All right.
Yeah, just assume for a while that the ow is directed at.
Yes. I almost did this to be my what do you call it? My non-sling time. But I think I'll do that later.
I hear doggos. Sound like brandishing a sword.
No. Well, it's Celine. Thank you, my love. You know, I love some more water.
He went from that window to that window. It's magic.
Yes. You should understand.
No, Kenny, no hiking for me for a while. You know why? Because I can't tie my own fucking shoes.
Velcro.
Right. My hiking boots do not come in Velcro.
Oh, yeah, hiking boots. That's the problem. Yeah, I was going to say, I have a pair of nice shoes that you don't even have to bend down to put on because they have a spring heel. But yeah, that's not going to work for boots.
Nope. And because I'm known to fall down mountains, clearly, I need that.
Ankle support.
Yep. Yes, forced rest is difficult. We're getting a exercise bike in a few days, so that's gonna help.
All right. I am good.
All right.
Sorry about that.
Sorry, guys.
Oh, where is the music? There it is. Okay. Whenever you're ready, Mew.
Right. Recheck. Down.
Ta-da.
All right. Starting in 5, 4, 3, 2. On this episode of the AIE Podcast.
Wow, Classic is on the move.
Where in the galaxy is SEMA San Diego?
Thank you for singing that.
You're welcome. Sorry to the chat room.
Final Fantasy Fan Fest was fantastic, which honestly is an understatement.
Dude, the amount of excitement I was hearing from you all was fabulous. STO TFO is incoming soon, TM.
And we have Meilung and Dux here to talk to us about AIE in Lord of the Rings Online.
Woohoo!
Yeah, all that and more coming up right now.
Bringing you the latest news from the AIE gaming community from planet Earth and beyond. This is the AIE Podcast.
Welcome to episode 367 of the podcast celebrating you, the LAX gaming community. The Die Has Been podcast. This is Mewcow, and I have some spreadsheets for one. But
Ooh.
to my left is Makala.
Hey guys, the Guild Kitchen's looking for a sous chef. She says, waving a hand with a cast on it.
Yes.
And to her right and occasionally in the window is Tetsemi.
Femshep is best shep.
Indeed. And this week we are joined by special guests Meilung and Dux, who are here to talk to us about AIE in Lord of the Rings Online. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming, guys.
Woohoo. So why don't we go around the room and ask what everyone's been up to? First, we'll probably start with the casted elephant in the room. And
I have never been called an elephant in my life, my friend. We're going to stop that trend right now.
I'm not calling you the elephant. I'm calling the arm the elephant.
That's
Okay.
right.
I'm just saying, I'm not old. I'm old. I'm not gray and wrinkly. All right. So, I broke my wrist yesterday, so that's fun. Which comes at really bad timing because, two of my games are on hiatus until July, which meant that I could have used this time to actually start playing video games again or get some writing done or do a lot of other things. But it's kind of hard to do anything that involves both hands. I did find out today, though, that I can still do my makeup, but not my hair
No.
because I have to have Tet put a friggin' scrunchie in my hair for me when I go to bed.
Yup. Because
Yup.
trying to do this with this doesn't work.
Does not work. So this has been really fun so far. It's only been a day. Expect me to kvetch a lot, people. However, before we went on hiatus, in my Call of Cthulhu and my Star Wars game, we are now currently a day before World War II breaks out.
Yeesh.
Things are gonna get real interesting. But also, we're being pursued by the Thula Society, so also fun. Which is what. Yeah, nothing to see here. No, we're not looking for ancient artifacts. And people want to prove that you're descendant from Atalanteans. Well, the Atalanteans are actually space creatures. So this is gonna be a great time. But we did actually hit a major plot point right before we left because we've been traipsing through Egypt. We're actually in a race against time against the Thula Society where they want to prove that, the Europeans are descended from Atalanteans and we are all looking for the same artifact. And we ended up actually going to Cairo to get a lead to go to Dendara and an ancient temple there where we actually went on a dream quest, which was a lot of fun. the great thing is the Dream Quest, when you die in it, though, you actually just go back to the real world.
It's a nice difference.
It is lovely because we spent a lot of time in that game being really injured. But there's 4 people in our, there's 4 investigators. 2 of them got out in the middle of the battle. They were taken out in the battle. So it ended up being 2 of us at the end point where we were in a room with 4 different symbols in it. And we knew that the item that we were looking for was in one of those symbols. So, one of our other, so it was me and my friend Talia, her character Renee, and she chose. So she basically chose the symbol of Horus, and it was not there.
Well, that's not
good. And then after that happened, she vanished. So I'm like, we need to figure this out because this thing can only be done. You have to wait until sunset to do this ritual because you're going to the Egyptian land of the dead. And also, we're doing okay. I mean, right now we're ahead of whoever is also looking for this thing. But we don't know if we have another day. So there was, so the symbols were the bullhorns, a hand radiating, like a disc, radiating hands like rays of the sun, but they were downwards. The wings and the snake. And so she grabbed my character. I'm like, I'm looking at it. I'm like, I don't know. And I kind of pulled a Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. I'm like, one of these things doesn't look like the others. All 3 of the 4, well, now two of the 3 are recognizable Egyptian symbols. And I ended up rolling good on my occult skill. So he's like, okay, that one with the hands are radiating down, it needs to be turned upside down. I'm like, okay, that's the one. And it was part of the heresy of Akhenaten, and which. That's where it was.
Right.
This 2-foot disc we're looking for. This could be real fun to get back to Cairo.
Yeah.
And then back to Alexandria where our dig is. But it was really just this really amazing moment. Like, okay, we're gonna go on hiatus, but it's a really high point because it's a huge, like, yeah, no, we're succeeding in our quest here. So it was a lot of fun. So that's where I am on one game. Star Wars, we're doing a new adventure where we started where the imps have a bioweapon that works primarily on non-humans.
Oh.
As
but it
you
works.
do.
As you do. They wiped out a refugee camp, of course, as they do. We had found the bioweapon, so we have found the information that they need for the bioweapon. So they have something else they're using. We found the scientist that's helping him, and our job is to either either kidnap him or take him out.
As you
so that's fun. Also, my characters, my dice haven't been working since I became a Force sensitive at all.
Shocking.
Shocking. And the really fun thing is she doesn't know she's a Force sensitive yet. She has no, it's like, okay, something weird's going on with me. So I've been kind of equating it because everything I've chosen for her is very perception based. It's, boost die to perception and boost die to vigilance, which is what you use for initiative if you didn't expect the fight. So I'm like, you know what? It makes sense. That stuff isn't working. Her senses are turned up to 11.
Yep, she's getting overwhelmed.
She's getting overwhelmed. But even she tried to meditate to figure out what was going on, and she just started getting dark side flashes. Which is what happens when you get your powers from an ancient Sith artifact.
Yep.
And, the person that's offered to help you is the last pureblood Sith in the galaxy. So, good times. So that's what's good times. That's what's going on there. And in our descent into Inverness, we're in hell. We're on our way to the High Cathedral, and we've fought hellhounds, and we just fought a bunch of devils. So it was a very combat heavy episode. Yes. Sorry, episode session. That's what I'm looking for. But good time. We're kind of sitting on there, and I'm thinking we're probably about to hit a plot point where we get into the High Hall. But this really fun thing, and it was just kind of a flavor text. But our priest, actually our assassin, happened to find a large coin off the with the remains of the hellhounds that we had fought. And our priest picked it up. Oh, no, not the hellhounds. I think they were devils. Excuse me. Our priest picked it up. He's like, "This is heavy. Oh, this doesn't feel great. Oh, someone's soul is in here. So it's the currency in hell." But the soul happened to be of the priest's character from the last campaign. So that was a lot of fun. It's a really fun flavor text. Like, it doesn't mean anything. It doesn't affect the campaign at all. But it's fun that happens to be someone's soul we encountered in hell.
Nice.
Fancy to see you here.
Exactly. Actually, it's not surprising at all. He was a halfling fighter. He was a bit of a jerk. But that's what I've been doing with virtual dice. And someday we'll actually get back to real dice, right, Kenny?
Hopefully
we'll get back to real dice.
Eventually. Sounds like you've been up to plenty, so we'll go over to the side and see what Dux has been up to.
Well, I continue to play Lord of the Rings Online. I'm taking a break every so often, playing Civ 6, and I'm also playing Call of Cthulhu.
Ooh.
Just started playing it. We had 2 sessions over the past 2 Thursdays, and it's nice. I get to play that one. I am running Adventures in Middle-earth. We've been playing we started before the pandemic, and then we've switched to Zoom.
Nice.
And then I'm running I'm running an Alien RPG, the Freedom.
Oh.
And the best thing about that right now is the Colonial Marines Operations Manual has just been released in PDF form.
I need to
nice.
get that for my bestie. She would love
verifying
that.
everything, and then that should be published soon. It's 300 plus pages, and it's beautiful. I love it.
Nice.
Oh, that's fabulous. So I got to know, what kind of investigator you're playing in Call of Cthulhu?
I'm actually using one of the pre-gens, so it's like I call him California Jones.
Okay.
Nice.
Hey, dude, I'm an archaeologist as well, so I gotcha. Awesome. Well, she's an entertainer, but her archaeology is like 75. So
Yeah, that's my California Jones. I'm
Nice.
an archaeologist. I'm just a clone of Indiana Jones. I've got a 38, and we're set in the 50s.
Oh, fun.
Nice.
Very nice.
But yeah, it's great. So far, it's been a lot of fun. We're like we were in Wisconsin, following up on an antiquities dealer.
Awesome. So if you ever need to talk COC, Dux, come hit me up, dude. It's my favorite. It's my favorite type of game right now.
It is really neat. I've never seen the system before.
It's a great system. I love it.
Yeah. And the last thing I'm playing a homebrew for my buddy down at work. I play on the weekends with one character with a different group, and then I'm in a same setting, different group during the week, and that's 5th edition D&D.
Nice.
Yeah. Awesome. Very cool.
That's it.
Sounds like plenty, though.
Yeah.
So let's slide over to Mailung and see what he's been up to since we last talked.
This has been game wrap up. I'm loving this.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I'll start off with SWTOR. On Monday nights, I'm on Ops Group, which we've been progressing through Terror from Beyond. We made it to the droid, which kicked our butt, but we got it down to 7 or 8%. Was our best pull, but we're getting that really close, and that was our first time looking at it. So hopefully a couple more weeks we'll be able to get it down, no problem. But we had a really good look at it over and over again. In Lotro, I've been working on a meta deed, which I've been working on this sucker for a long time, which pulled ducks in to help me during SNLs, and whoever wants to help me is more than willing. Granted, the closer you are to level cap, the better. But the metadata is there's encounters for every skirmish, which is like a mini dungeon.
Right.
You don't have to do them, but it's an option. And like there might be anywhere between 6 to 9 encounters.
Okay.
That could come up.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
All depend on how much RNG is your friend. 2 of them come up every time a skirmish comes up. So you could get lucky and just run it 4 or 5 times and you're done if the RNG gods are really smiling upon you.
Right.
Which they rarely are.
Or if they hate you, it could be for 5 months.
Oh my God.
But you have to do all the encounters and every single skirmish, and you get the title Skirmisher of Middle Earth. While my main character, that's what I've been working on.
Nice. That's awesome.
Very cool.
Nice, but I'm down to like 21 different encounters spread across the encounters, spread across the skirmishes that I'm working on. Also in Lotro, I did have for the anniversary event, for some dumb reason, they do tales, which are scrolls, and you go across Middle Earth to scavenger hunt, pretty much. Well, last year I had this brilliant idea of, you know what? I'm not going to look at Lotro Wiki for this character to do this. I'm going to do this off the top of my head. What is in my memory? And I got to one point where it was the last scroll. All I had to do was go down to Golem's Cave, which if anybody who in Lotro has been down there, it is a bunch of twists and turns and it's easy to get lost. And last year I'm like, you know what? I'm going to put this off until next year. I'm not going to do it this year. I'm going to do it next year, which I did. And I managed to complete that. But I did look at Lotro Wiki, but earlier that day, I took my main character and I completed that quest. And I was in there twice with my main character. And I'm like, okay, now I'm going to go in with this character. I've already been in there twice. I should know exactly where I'm going. Only got turned around once, but I managed to finish that.
Nice.
And so that's McCullough is not the only one talking about rolling dice.
Yes.
I have been doing D&D recently.
Yay!
So there's another one, which it is thanks to the WinterCon that we did. I figured last time I played, I had one of those where I had a bad DM back in 1990.
Yeah. We've all had those DMs, honey.
Yes, which it really turned me off on D&D and the pen and paper style game.
Right.
And the WinterCon really brought me back to it. And I have jumped all in. I'm in one of Kadavari's groups that is running Curse of Strahd.
Oh, fun.
Which in that one, I'm playing a female rogue. And
excellent.
So much fun.
God, rogues are so versatile right now. I love them.
Yes. DP Roberts started a group, which I'm playing a Hill Dwarf Ranger, which is really fun. And then wife and I were in Target one day. It was after Kadavari's groups were already set up, before DPs were. DP had said that he was definitely going to do one, and saw the essentials kit. I'm like, hey, this would be fun to get. Let's get this. We'll run a group with the family. You know, I have wife, 3 kids.
Yeah, you have a group right there. The perfect size group.
So I'm DMing. I'm the DM for the first time ever, but it's with the family. So if I screw up, hey, it's family.
Way to go.
If they get mad at me, they're grounded anyway.
Exactly, right? Like, I happen to see you're looking up that monster stat block. Guess what? Grounded.
Yeah.
Exactly. But I'm DMing Ice Brood Saga. Dragon of Ice Fire Peak. Dragon of Ice Fire Peak. Which it's really fun. And my oldest son is playing a Hildor fighter, which his answer to everything, I'm gonna throw my axe at it. So he throws his hammer at everything. Anything that comes up, he's gonna attack. Which as a DM, it's like, okay, I guess we're fighting now.
Exactly.
Right.
Until you have somebody hell you the hammer and just hold it and go, really?
Right.
Yeah.
And throw in a couple levels of monk, and he'll stop that.
Yeah.
Oh no, he won't. But super fun. Which now every Sunday, pretty much, is every Sunday I'm gonna be doing some sort of D&D of some kind.
Oh, that makes me so happy.
Yeah, and the D&D we did tonight, 2 hours of nothing but role play.
Yes.
Literally 2 hours of real time, and we only covered about maybe 1 hour of role play.
Sometimes those are the best sessions, though.
It was so much fun. I had a great time.
Awesome.
But that's what I've been up to.
Cool.
Fun stuff. Well, let's round it up with Tetsemi and see what he's been up to.
What have I been up to? I will let you cover the Final Fantasy Fan Fest stuff when we get to that, because
You freaked out over.
Yeah.
Well, the whole it was basically the Final Fantasy version of BlizzConline, a virtual version.
Thoughts.
Yeah, no, I know. It's basically a virtual fan fest that they normally do in person, which was weird, kind of seeing everything with no audience to react to. It was just the producer and the American translator is like, okay, this is kind of fun. But I'll let you get into it. I did log in, order the digital collector's edition. I know people were trying for the box thing, but like by the time they got through the queue into the store, it had already sold out. So
wow.
Oh no, I had people watching.
Did you?
Yeah.
Did you get one?
Fast. Yes, I did.
Nice.
You had to jump quick.
Yeah, and the way they're doing it, because you can't. It was interesting the way they broke it up. Like there's a collector's edition if you wanted the physical and the digital goods, but that only applied for the PC because you're buying the game through Steam or PlayStation, which they can only do the digital portion of it. So then you'd have to order the physical box separately for that situation, or you just get the standard one. But I got the...
Yeah.
So...
Yeah, they decided to no longer put the computer discs in collector's editions.
Right. Which, I mean... It's about time.
Who uses them anymore?
Yeah, exactly. Everything's download. So that was fun. That was a good couple days of distraction. I have been progressing slowly on my Valheim village, for lack of a better term. I found where the second boss is. I have not gone and fought the second boss yet. But I've got my little portal network set up, and I've got my copper and tin deposits all laid out, and I got my smelter built and the charcoal producer, so I can do all that back at the main base. So I'm just progressing on that. And then May 14th, Mass Effect. Yeah, the Legendary bundle released, and both my daughter and I have been nonstop playing that. It's her first time through any of the Mass Effect games, so she's playing it up in her room, and then we'll occasionally come down and go, "You were right. There's a lot of quests just in the Citadel." I'm like, yes, talk to everyone, go everywhere. Like, that's where I spent the majority of my week, was just trying to get out of the Citadel, because I'm like, okay, I think I got, that's a quest giver, isn't it? Okay, yeah. And
it's been delightful, her freaking out about voice actors.
Yeah.
when she discovered Keith David in the
was
game today. It made me so happy.
Yeah, she was just geeking because she loves the voice actors, and so I was a bit confused because I thought one of the actors was actually God, my brain just froze. One of the Critical Role actors. But it's not. What's that?
Liam?
No, it was the female, and I thought.
Oh, okay.
Like she's doing the same voice that she does for Jester with that same accent, and I thought it was her for a moment, and I was like, nope, it's not. It's somebody different. But so that's what I have been up to. WoW is on the hard disk, sitting there, taking up space right now. I'll get back to it when more stuff gets released. Hopefully soon, maybe.
Right.
But we'll talk about Classic in a little bit as well. What have you been up to, Mew?
That leaves me. So yeah, lots of Final Fantasy 14, of course. But when not in there, I've been playing with Nier Replicant, which has been fun to kind of go back because it's been that weird thing of I played the original Nier Replicant and then I played Nier Automata, and now I'm playing Nier Replicant again, and to see the changes they made to Replicant that they took from Automata. And so it's like your brain's doing this funny thing. It's like, am I remembering that from Automata, or am I remembering that from the original Replicant? It's
right.
Because like they used the music in both games, and like it was kind of one of those neat things that, like, Automata would play like a new version of that song. It's like, oh, I remember that song, and then you go back and then you're hearing it. It's like, is this a remake of a remake, or is this the original? And you're just kind of like scratching your head. But yeah, I don't know. It feels really good with Automata's combat. Like that was one of the things. Like the combat was okay in the original Replicant, but they just really figured things out with Automata, and I'm glad that they were able to put that into this remake, and seeing everything in the higher quality and all of the fun stuff. And it's still weird hearing Illidan's voice coming out of a book. It's just not going to be normal.
Right.
And then he apparently recorded that like right after Burning Crusade. So
yeah.
He was fresh off of that, so it's it just sounds
definitely Illidan, peak Illidan.
Yeah, it's just they stuffed Illidan into a book, and he's very sassy. But yeah, a little bit of that, and then around the house we've been dealing with fun stuff. We got hit by really bad hail, so we've been having to deal with roofers. But that's not been any fun. But yeah, just a little bit of all over the place, and lots of Final Fantasy, honestly.
Yeah.
I too have WoW installed somewhere on my hard drive. It has not been touched probably in a month.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just we'll see if 9.1 gets my attention or not. If it gets anyone's attention.
Yeah.
And I played a little bit of Among Us. There's a new map out in Among Us, and there's a new version of a thing called Better Crew Link, which really enhances Among Us, because what it does is it puts in-game voice. So one of the things that people don't like about Among Us is that you go silent while you're all running around and doing stuff.
Yeah.
So Better Crew Link actually figures out proximity. So
nice.
So you have voice while you're running around doing your tasks, and you can't cheat. Like it's set up that way to where you're running around and it's like, oh hey, how you doing? I'm doing blah, blah, blah. Like it's really interesting, and it adds to the game, because especially when the imposters have kill lines and funny stuff like that going on, and it's just it makes it a whole new game, and I have a feeling it's going to start popping up more. Like if there was that the surge a while back, I think it's going to pop up again, because even streamers are realizing, well, that was one of the things they didn't like, is that they had to basically talk quietly to their audience while running around doing stuff, and it just felt so awkward where you're running around seeing stuff. But now it's like you get voices and all kinds of comedy and people just running around memeing, and it's actually pretty funny. But yeah, no, that was a lot of fun. I definitely bring that up for the next AIE events, I think, is...
Yeah, that's a great game to play as a group. Yep. Our Hordling was a little upset about how bad I am at that game.
Well, it's fun, and really you just have to be really good at lying.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I'm disturbed about how good she is actually at it.
You had to get it from somewhere. Anyway.
Right.
we're going to be digging into Lord of the Rings Online shortly, but why don't we go ahead and cover this week's news first?
AIE News.
All right.
Okay. In streaming and podcast news, SOTOR, Escape Podcast 380, Vet Mode Vets. Marcus joins the team to help put a cap on their Vet Mode series. In SOTOR Escape Podcast 381, Solo Flashpoint tips. Solo Flashpoints! Lots of new players are doing them for the story for the first time, so they pull in guild member, officer, and podcaster Tet. Yeah, I heard that one. To help talk about getting it done. Did you have fun, hon?
Yes, that was really fun.
It was, yeah. And in Working Class Nerds news, episode 105, Anthrax is in the Bad Batch. Marcus and Nick chat with Twitch streamer Anthrax. They talk about what it and Apos like to be variety streamers and breaking down the new episode of Bad Batch. Spoiler warning during 5 minutes, 57 minutes to an hour 27. God, I'm loving that show so much.
It is. It's so good.
So much fun.
I'm
Oh my
so
gosh.
behind.
It's great. It's great. I still want to catch up on the Clone Wars, but
I wanted to mention that before moving on. So Disney Plus did an interesting thing. If you go to the Star Wars section,
the essentials.
The essentials. It's like, here's the important episodes to watch. I'm so happy they did that because we were so behind.
Yeah.
Right. I'm super. Yeah, and I'm loving watching it because my Star Wars character in our game was born 21 BBY, so she was born like she would have been 1 when this happened. So I'm really okay because this is the world she was born into. So I'm loving that. Anyway, so sorry, sidebar there. You can find more of Ajax at Twitch /a_. Wow.
Atrax.
It's Atrax. It said Ajax here right there. Sorry about that.
That's
ATR or to ATAX is the name you're looking for.
Yep.
All right, and in 106, please pronounce that for me. Armanstra?
Armenstra.
Yeah.
Armanstra Gaming, thank you.
Oh,
In this
Armenostra, sorry.
Armanostra.
Thank you. Armanostra Gaming. In this episode, the guys are joined by the great and powerful Armanostra. Armanostra is not only a great streamer on Twitch, but she's also an award-winning voice actor as well. The whole gang chats about the difference between those two worlds, their shared love of Star Wars, and of course, games they enjoy playing. You can find more about Armanostra at twitch.tv, and the spelling is ARMENASTRA.
All right. And in Nomads news, speaking of Valheim again, we're gearing up to take the next box motor down in Valheim. Anyone interested in joining the fun should jump into the Discord channel so they can coordinate a time and work to get everyone the items that they will need for the fight, because you really can't go in under-geared or you'll just be a spot on the floor.
Clearly.
And in WoW news, most of the current WoW news is focused on WoW Classic, including TBC. But there's a brief raid wrap-up for those in retail. DOA is now 1 of 10 heroic. HFO, which is on the Alliance side, is 4 of 10 heroic. And PJFC is 9 of 10 heroic.
Congrats.
If you have an Alliance character that's looking to raid, please reach out to Fezgik and AIE Discord for time and day for HFO, because they are recruiting.
Yep. They are kind of treating that as like a Alliance side noob raid. So,
awesome.
Yeah.
Yep.
Awesome. All right. And in WoW Classic news, the guild is in the process of moving to Mankirk, but character moving is paused until pre-patch. Then to TBC on Tuesdays. That's when you decide for each character if it goes to TBC or stays in Classic forever. There no presence of AIE in Classic forever is expected, by the way.
Correct.
The Burning Crusade pre-patch hits live on Tuesday with new race and all classes on both sides. For Horde, of course, we have the Blood Elf and the Paladin. And we have the Shaman and what's the...
Space Goats. I mean,
yeah.
Yes.
Draenei, thank you. Leveling is 30% faster on average, by the way. The Burning Crusades will be live in 2 weeks on June 1st, and they'll be able to go, and then we'll be able to go through the Dark Portal.
Yep.
That'd be fun to actually do in real time because I did it. I did it during Wrath.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. A lot of people joined the tail end of Burning Crusade, beginning of Wrath,
Right.
and so they never got to experience going from Classic through the Dark Portal and getting the experience of getting stepped on by the Fell Reaver, who you can't hear until he steps on you. Exactly. Yep. Like, how can something that large and that loud sneak up on you? It's ridiculous.
Right.
So, all right. In a galaxy far, far away, SOTOR, back to SOTOR. Mega this month will be Friday the 21st. Join Marcus, Lucy, and Tabitha as they lead us in a hunt for clues to solve the mystery of where in the galaxy is SEMA San Diego. All right. Double XP, Renown, and Valor is still ongoing in SOTOR until the 18th. XP is always pretty fast in SOTOR, but during this period, it goes right to ludicrous speed. It does. I had a character that was 50, and I was just running around doing the storyline like on Balmora, which is probably a level like 25, 26 planet. They're 56, and they're just finishing Balmora, and it's like, yeah, in a week I got 6 levels on that character. I was like, I wasn't trying to speed level; it's just happening. It's crazy. It's if you like the 1 to 50 leveling, or you're trying to get characters 275 to finish off and get your 8th character class. It's now's the time to jump in. That with Galactic Seasons.
No one saw that.
Nope. Also, Battle Pass, log in and check out the new Battle Pass system called Galactic Seasons. The first season goes for 5 months and awards a new companion, enough currency to buy a new fleet stronghold, and many other rewards. It's a little overwhelming at first glance, so don't hesitate to join Discord and ask questions. And yes, there is a catch-up mechanism. You can use cartel coins. If you've been a subscriber and have not been actively using your cartel coins, you can use that to unlock and catch up. So it's really good.
Handy for those times where I jump in for a little bit to see what's going on.
Exactly. Yep.
And everyone buckle in because it's time for Final Fantasy XIV news. The Final Fantasy Digital Fan Fest has come to a close, but exciting stuff was revealed for the next expansion, which is Endwalker.
Yep.
And they kind of front-loaded. They
did.
The keynote, they just, here's all the crazy stuff. So we'll start with the walkout. The new melee class was revealed to be Reaper, a two-handed scythe wielder who appears to employ magic from the void in their attacks, along with summoning what is Final Fantasy XIV's version of a demon to both attack and to fuse with during certain phases of the rotation. It will share gear with the Dragoon, finally, so we won't feel like a waste just having Dragoon here.
Yeah.
And require a level 70 class to access and starts at 70. So it's kind of nice. You're essentially starting right at Shadowbringers and can get ready for Endwalker pretty quickly. Or I guess if you're pre-patching, then you can start at 70 and maybe get to Endwalker in time.
I like the fact that they're sharing the gear with Dragoon.
Yes. Yeah, I like it when they do that because like I said, it always felt like a weird waste to have this, only Dragoon can use this. Ooh, that's weird.
Yeah.
But it was always weird that Dragoon gear it was essentially tank gear. And in fact, the early levels, it is that you share with the tanks until they finally branch you off, and then you're just on your own. So, I guess we'll give you some crazy looking dragon gear because you're the only one that wears it. But,
are they gonna? Do they go back since it starts at 70? Do they go back and add Dragoon to the level 50, 60, and 70 sets, or do you think they're just going to start with 70?
It'll be a little of both. So they won't give them everything. Like they probably won't give them relic weapons and artifact gear.
No, but I'm talking like the sets you buy with the currency, the Phantasma.
Yeah. They probably will. Just because that it's as simple as saying, okay, if Dragoon, then also Reaper. So, but they won't do it for all of it because there's some gear that is definitely very obviously just for Dragoon.
Yep. Okay.
So they'll do it a mix. Like some of the newer ones, like Dancer and Gunbreaker, like they gave them some backfill, but not all of it. Right. So it's a little different. But the coolest thing was, of course, is the game director walked out as a Reaper.
Yes.
Like he likes
awesome.
to do.
And then immediately regretted it for the entire 2-hour presentation because
he had the actual two-handed scythe on him.
Yes.
So he was wandering around, you can tell that it was heavy, and like an assistant runs out with him, gives him a little stance, like, oh, finally I stand, and he's able to put it down and take a break. But he would still go back, like he still wanted to look cool, so he couldn't help but walk over and grab it and twirl it around a bit and and the fan. So since it's digital, they had a bunch of monitors on the front stage where normally you'd have sound monitors. Well, no, these are actual like visual monitors, and they showed all the chats from YouTube, Twitch, and Nico, and so they could see all of the
the feedback and everything.
Yeah, all the feedback live while they were doing it, and they were like, "Oh, do some moves, do some twirls," because they showed like they had a little gameplay a video to show what the Reaper was doing. It looks really good. It's I like the color scheme. The color scheme is definitely like I would almost say a part of it is like pastel goth, like it's kind of a light purple and light green, but with lots of black. So it's really interesting looking, very unique. It's not just like, I think people would have worried that, it might just take over for a Dark Knight, like, oh, we'll just steal Dark Knight's aesthetic. Like, nope, doesn't look anything like it. Dark Knight is definitely more of a black and red, and this is more of a like black, but with purple and green, and I guess depending on what.
Yep.
Yeah, it's really neat looking.
Okay.
Cool.
Hold on, real quick. Dux, was that a black cat you were petting?
Yes.
Okay.
Good.
All right. So we have another one in the black cat club.
Okay, so 5 black cats from this.
That's 5 black
awesome.
cats. Got it.
Yes. But that was quite the reveal. He was quite the trooper. He said he had to stay on a special diet to make sure he still fit in his costume.
Sure.
But yeah, it was. I mean, he definitely committed to it.
And I understand dieting for cosplay people.
Yep.
That's what always amazes me is that these guys aren't just preaching to their players. Like they actually are there with them, doing all the same stuff. They are cosplaying with us. They're playing with us. It's
That's awesome.
Yeah. Later on, they of course showed, as we had speculated from the first trailer, that we're going to visit old Charlian in Endwalker. If you played 1.0, you might recognize the name of the polis of the far north west of Eorzea, from which our allies originate. So they're kind of going home and saying, hey, there's some stuff going down. You guys want to come join us and maybe stop it?
Nope.
So
no.
That'll be interesting. But will they take the field with us, or will they continue to stay holed up in their walls of the Grand City? So
it depends on Y'shtola.
Yeah, which if she has her way, they're coming. Like one way or another. Like that's one person you don't cross.
Nope.
And of course I think the biggest surprise that like no one was expecting, like it's always been one of those like weird, maybe one day way down the line, but they showed us male Vieras, so we're going to finally have male bunnies. People have been begging for it since they revealed that Vieras were coming in, but they wanted to do them right, and it looks like it's pretty well done. Like it is. They put some effort into it.
Yeah, the number of male Makotes just got dropped by like 90%.
Yeah, because if you wanted to be a bunny, either you had to suck it up and be female, or you just went male cat goy and maybe got some bunny ears. So,
Okay.
But that'll be interesting. Which I'm actually very curious to see is they also announced that it's not ready anytime soon, but they are working on female Hrothgar.
Yes.
Yeah, I heard.
Yes, so I'm curious to see what they do with that, because we have no inkling, like just like the male Viera, because they don't have the character, like they don't show you the character until they actually have it made.
Yeah.
So we don't even have a clue what they're going to look like. And one of the interesting things about this game is that the genders are definitely very different physical, except for Lalafels, because they're
because potatoes.
Yeah, potato. But like there's always a very distinct difference between the two genders. So it's not just we put long hair on it and we're done. Like, it doesn't work that way.
No, they did an awesome job, honestly.
Yeah.
It looks amazing.
Yeah, some of the reactions were some of the funniest things. It's like one person I play with was watching it live and it was like, "Oh right, we're finally getting new hairstyles for the era." Wait a minute, that's not a woman.
Exactly.
That's funny.
That was 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, OMF said the other Discord he was on just exploded when that came out. So.
We weren't expecting it. Like we knew that they've been busy. We knew that they were working on the next expansion. We didn't expect any more races. Like they actually said no more new races.
Right.
Well, technically this isn't a new race. So
not true.
And what's interesting is, and maybe you have, Mew, but I have not seen one meme that says, "Oh, this is why the release date is so late."
No.
Yeah.
No. The players know better.
Everyone knows they're just working their tail off. So
yeah. And the Fan Fest was a good way of showing us just what they've been up to, why they've been so busy, including some of the stuff they revealed after the concert last night. But it's interesting. They of course finally told us the release date is November 23rd or the 19th if you get early access.
Thanksgiving weekend in the U.S.
Yes. Yep. Perfect. It'll be great. They of course sheepishly admitted that maybe this is extremely late fall, but it's still fall.
They still made fall.
It's still fall. Yep. Yeah.
So it's a week before winter.
No, December 20th.
Yeah, December 20th or 19th, depending on what's going on. Yeah.
Yep.
So they did it plenty of time. He of course was being poked at by his own people because the town he's from, they have snow at that point. Right. So they're like, well, we consider it winter. It's like, no, it's still fall.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was the big news there. The second big news, of course, is patch 5.55 is May 25th. So we'll finally get essentially the end of what they've shown us in 5.5, and it's going to basically get us ready for Endwalker, and then we're going to get this nice long time to kind of get all your ducks in a row for Endwalker. They're going to be doing some.
Not that ducks.
No, he's already in a row. He's one person. He's already in a row. So we're good to go.
Ducks is busy. He does not need to get in that row. He's an arse.
But they are going to do some 0.1 patch releases to kind of just to make sure we're not bored. They're going to give us stuff that's once a month. They're going to give us something new to play with, which I love. That's another thing I've always just loved that they just even when they're busy, they're just giving us a little something, keep us busy, make us happy. They, of course, also talked about the last bit of Bajja, Save the Queen storyline, where we're going to finally try to take it back from Garlemald. And there's one new battlefield area, Zadnor, and a new 48-man raid.
Wow.
So, 24 is the current big raid in this game. So 48 is just going to be chaos.
That's amazing.
8 groups of 6, right? No. Yeah.
Talk about hurting cats.
No, it's 6 groups of 8.
6 groups of 8. See, I was like, wait a minute, it's the other way.
Yeah.
The other there was 8 and a 6 there.
Yeah. Like the 3 groups of 8 is already there's a lot going on. And to the fact that they have to separate you during fights usually. Sometimes you'll focus on one big thing, but then they'll try to separate you because it's just there's too much going on. And holy cow, if there's a red mage in each group doing their limit break, no one can see.
Nope.
You're just blind. It's just no one can see a thing. But it's that there's some interesting stuff coming, and of course you get to finish your relic weapon, which will be better than the best weapon in the game right now. So it's actually worth it to finish the relic weapon. Everyone will be able to do that. Of course, the last little bit they kind of snuck in there. If anyone missed the Final Fantasy XIV collaboration, it's coming in September. Something to give us something to do before the expansion comes out. So you'll get a chance to hang out with Noctis, and more importantly, steal his car and his clothing.
Yay!
So, although with the space whale,
I know.
That space whale, 8 people.
8 person mount. They just had to one up WoW with its 5-person mount and go right to 8 people.
Yep, 8 people. Well, I mean, we need something to go to the moon in, because the moon's haunted.
Clearly.
The moon's haunted. We got to go take care of it.
All right.
But, and of course, one last reminder that, hey, the Final Fantasy XIV's free trial goes to level 60, includes the critically acclaimed expansion, Heaven's Ward. So considering waiting for the expansion, now is the perfect time to come join us in Final Fantasy XIV. We're having a lot of fun. Why don't you join us?
Awesome. All right. In an ESO news, clearing zones of sky shards and world bosses, clearing public dungeons, being let off cliffs by Dankenia. So basically a normal Friday night in ESO.
Yep.
MFN's activities happen each week and involve either zone clears, daily dungeon runs, and or public dungeon runs. Next week, they'll be focusing on clearing a couple of public dungeons. The Explorer Celebration mini-event is going on now through May 20th, and awards rewards double XP from every source, which will stack with XP boosts such as scrolls. It also gives double XP from kills, quests, and other sources, and increased yield from harvest nodes, except for fishing. So sorry, Sparrow. There are no event tickets rewarded as part of these events.
And in Star Trek Online, new TFO announced remain Klingon, but no release date has been given. There's a 20% ship sale until May 17th, upgrade weekend until May 17th, and the Tholian Trouble event until May 25th. 14 days of progress to earn the Tholian Web Array Universal Console. Earn progress in 2 revamped TFOs, the Vault Ensnared or Azure Nebula Rescue. And the Fleet Action Report is looking for anyone interested in helping with a PvP episode to take place in about 6 weeks. If interested, please contact fleetactionreport.com. There's information up there.
.com. And in Guild Wars 2 news, there is a major class rebalance patch hitting this week that's coming. There's a chance your favorite class might be the meta now. We'll look into that. Same deal as last time with the Living World stuff. Which means they're going through the cycle again. So if you've missed any of the Living World stuff, jump in now so you can see it as it goes through. Dungeon Nights are the second Friday of the month, and the next one's going to be June 11th.
Yeah, which, I mean, on that, it's been going really well. So
cool.
Yeah, it's one of those games that just you buy it once and it just keeps being cool.
Yep.
Yes.
And with that, let's get back to Mailong and Ducks and find out what's going on in Lord of the Rings Online. The floor is yours.
Yes.
Mel, would you like to start?
I mean, start off with first part in the notes. This weekend has been a 25% bonus to all skirmish marks, which for those of you who are or who will be level 100 and above and are working on your legendary weapon, I have learned skirmish marks are a great way to help you in that process, which is a grind and a half. So if you need help running skirmishes, I am your man because I've run it.
Yep.
Also, stuff that's upcoming, the Buried Treasure, which I know Max is a big fan of, which he usually runs it like crazy, is starting roughly on May 27th.
That's an interesting date.
Yeah.
I'll continue from there. We have the Midsummer event coming up. So, last year before, something like that, time's been rather wibbly wobbly. We had the wedding of Aragorn and Arwen, and that's Midsummer. Right. So now we have a new Midsummer event, and they're rumoring some new items from it to give us a nice impetus to go back to it. And then from there, we have updates. And do you want to take the first update, and I'll do 31, or how do you want to do that, Mal?
I'll take the first one, which one thing that we really learned the last time the executive producer was on the last time is roughly a time frame of roughly how long they want to do updates and major stuff in the major updates on news story stuff. Roughly, they want to look at roughly every 12 to 13 weeks. You're going to get some new story stuff. You're going to get something new in the game to do. Which the next one, which we will be getting, which is update 30, Blood of Ozog, which will be in-game stuff, which is going to Bull Roar, which is the public test server, sometime this coming week. So we'll be expecting that. So I'm thinking roughly the last half of June, the first part of July is when it'll go live on the servers, is when update 30 will be around.
After that, we'll have, they usually do a couple incremental patches. And then update 31 is planned to be Gundabad. Gundabad is the next major area. It will be most likely underground. akin to Moria. It is where Durin the Deathless was born when he was first placed into Arda. And from there, this is going to continue their kind of the dwarves taking back their lands from the orcs. And it's slightly off from the actual timeline of Middle Earth, but they're filling in pieces everywhere they can.
Right, yeah. You kind of have to.
Yeah.
Yeah, because right now, our next thing would be the hobbits go back to the Shire.
Right.
You know,
and all that, yeah.
So one interesting thing, and I know Mal and I have talked about a couple of times, is they have this. They accidentally revealed a new class called the Brawler.
Mm-hmm.
Accidentally.
And after that, they were very quiet about it for as long as they could, but it immediately erupted. And they've done a couple of attempts explaining maybe what the Brawler is from. And my favorite right now is that it's kind of a play on Tulkas, the Valar who basically wrestled Morgoth and then put him in chains, threw him beyond the doors of night. So maybe that's it. It's basically going to be a wrestler, a strong man. And you know, they're doing their best to stick within the bounds that they have. And so this is a very creative idea. Not sure how it works when you're at the foot of something like, you know, back in the days with Ragnos, and you're at the foot of Ragnos punching the lava, but I don't know how that would work.
I'm sure part of that lava is a toe or something.
Right.
That would work.
Yeah.
Need some fire resistance there.
Yeah, with the Brawler, they're expecting it to be part of the pre-order because Gundabad is supposed to be an expansion pack for later in the year.
That makes sense.
So it will be. They want it to be a part of the pre-order, so they are working on it now. We won't see it on Bull Roar. They said it will be its own Bull Roar look to test it out because it's going to be a new class.
They've been rumoring a thing called the landscape difficulty system. And that they've only kind of given a couple hints to it. But the idea is, say you burn through the Shire as fast as you could, you know, to level up and try and get somewhere in Middle Earth.
Let's not burn the Shire, please.
I like scouring the Shire.
Okay.
Yeah. Deep cleaning.
Yeah, deep clean. Yeah. So they want to give you a reason to go back and have it at level or near level. So when you go back to work on your deeds or any kind of meta objects, it's at least worth your time. And it doesn't become just a trudge through Rushnok Bog.
Right.
And so the hope with this is that it'll be kind of like the skirmish system. You can sit there and opt into it, set your level, and then go in and do whatever it is you're looking to do. And then you back out of it, back to normal. And they've been testing that one for a while, and I guess they did a little bit of testing with it for the Wildlands expanse, I guess, or Wildlands.
It'll be an interesting take on it and see how it matches up to ESO's take and Guild Wars 2's take on making sure things are same level as you in one way or another.
Yeah, it's one thing I noticed is, hey, going back at level 130 to work in the Shire, no problem.
Yeah.
I go through very quickly, take care of everything, and I'm done and I'm out of there.
Yeah.
But when it gets to about Moria, I still don't want to go back to Moria.
No.
I mean, yeah,
Or should
I don't
you?
either. But I mean, if you're going through, and a great example is the Bjorning, which is based off of Bjorn from The Hobbit, where you can transform from a man to a bear into bear form. If you're running a yellow line, it's a healer line. Are you overpowered? Yes, very much so. Where you can do it 3-4 levels above what you're supposed to be at. To add that difficulty level to it, yeah, the rewards are going to be better and all that stuff, but you don't feel like you're just blazing through it. You can do stuff somewhat on level, but you've upped the difficulty level so that you can actually run with some difficulty to it.
Right. So it's a little bit of a challenge.
It is.
Really? has just been little bits and pieces. They're talking class balance. I know there are really big concerns for Guardians right now. And the Lightning Rune Keeper is almost unstoppable in PvMP, or at least feared.
Right.
So there's been plans for that. They're keeping it very tight-lipped, though. And then there's rumors that there will be actual devs having their own show, or at least appearing more often on the Friday at 11 o'clock Central Cordovans video cast.
Oh, nice.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's nice to have the devs actually stop in and give you some of their, why are they doing this?
Right.
Totally.
And my little thing on the side I've found really keeps me busy is I just disappear into PvMP.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm still working on becoming rank 9. Everything slows down when you hit rank 8. It slowed down so much.
Yep.
And I know we've mentioned it before on the show, but would you kind of give us let the listeners know what PvMP is?
I'll go ahead and go. PvMP is player versus monster player. It's their version. It's Lotro's version of player versus player, where you can either bring your regular character into a special area, or you can roll up a monster player, whether it be an orc, a warg, a spider, something like that, where you can bring that player in and play as the quote-unquote monster.
Awesome.
Which, with that, there is a dedicated team working on balance, which has been a long fight.
Yeah.
At one
I'm
point,
sure.
Yeah. At one point, what we call the freeps, the free players, which is your regular toons, were really overpowered. Pretty much where it took 4 or 5 monster players to kill one free player.
Wow. Yeah, that is a bit OP.
And then they went and they adjusted it to where, okay, you could pretty much, the monster players, we could hold our own.
Right.
And then the free players had a conniption fit.
Sure.
Which the server we're on is not one of those real big, heavy RP rating servers. So we're not going to have a bunch of tier 5 raiders.
Right.
Which is the hardest content for raiders. We don't have that. So it's a matter of finding that perfect balance in it to where we can have a perfect balance between the monster players and the free players.
Right.
Sure.
Which, as soon as that, with Saturday Night Lotro, we've been taking a break from PvMP with that, waiting for that balance to come to where, okay, we know that there's a perfect balance in there. We have a perfect group of both sides to where we can jump in and run
and have fun.
Yes, and have fun. And with Ducks having that, being in there with that, we have that, okay, now we think it's in there.
Yeah. So are there 10 ranks, Ducks?
15.
Oh, 15. Okay,
wow,
so
okay.
you're on the ascension path. Does the rank affect how strong your monster character is then?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Block parry, evade increases a certain rate per rank. You also have new skills that are gained. Skills are a little slower than you would as a freep.
Right.
But then you have these traits, and the traits and corruptions, you can really customize out your character. Right now, my war leader is almost 2 million hit points, and if I take my defensive potions, I can't be killed.
Oh my
I can
goodness!
watch about 5 different people try and kill me as I walk away.
Right.
Nice.
And eventually they give up, or I just stand still and go, "Come on, get it over with." Ooh,
right.
Tickle.
It tickles. Yeah.
But I just tell everybody, it's like, I'm by Eagle Rock. Hey, there's 3 people here hitting me. Come and get them.
Yeah.
I can't kill
Awesome.
them. It's having a war leader is like using a wiffle bat and hitting someone with it.
Right.
It just doesn't do that much damage. But I can do. It's very much like a captain or a paladin in Warcraft. So I'm a force multiplier.
Yeah.
But I really can't do a whole lot of damage
By yourself, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I wait. Usually, there's a couple wargs orbiting around in stealth, and then it's all over.
Right. You're bait, and they are the DPS.
Yep, works perfectly.
That's
Awesome.
that's fun.
Yeah, but in PvP, I have a Defiler, which is a healer. So you're not going to kill. I'm not going to kill you, but you are definitely not going to kill me the way it's about right now.
Yeah.
It'd be 3-on-1. You're not going to kill me. So I'm just going to spend the whole time healing myself.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't have enough stuns and lockdowns to keep me from healing myself, so good luck. Yeah. I had because just as a quick aside, since we're talking PvP or PvMP, I had popped in on Galactic Seasons. One of the weeklies and the dailies is go play unranked Warzone. And I'm like, I had not played SOTOR PvP in forever, and I was like, this is actually kind of fun. And I remember playing Lotro's player versus monster player, and I got to play a wolf. I think I picked up a wolf, and it was like, oh, this is an interesting take on it. This is a nice, refreshing take on, because, you know, if you're a hobbit, you don't want to be killing another hobbit. That's
Right, exactly. That's not hobbity.
That's not that's not good.
That's not how hobbits roll. Let's face it.
Yeah,
No, unless you're Smeagol.
Right.
True. Yeah. Well, he's a bit some issues there.
Yeah, I mean, with that, I've been jumping in there as well into the Galactic Seasons unranked. But I've been bringing a healer because I want to get better at healing.
Right. And that's a great place to do it. Yeah.
Yeah. And Lotro, I'm really good because I've been playing this game for so long. But in SWTOR, it's slightly different. So let me jump into the unranked PvP stuff. That'll get me really good at healing.
Yep.
Is the confusion that you're healing with guns and you're like using the wrong bullets to heal? That's what the problem is.
Maybe a little.
Heal. Whoops, wrong bullet.
Wrong bullet.
Exactly.
Heal.
Yeah, it would, but I'm focused on health bars, so I don't know what's going on.
Right. He's just hitting his abilities, not watching the animations.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Saying green bar whack-a-mole.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, which in Lotro, I've done 6-man and 12-man groups where I'm a healer. And I'll be healing people, and next thing I know, it's like, hey, wait, the boss is dead. Okay, I guess we're going forward.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely interesting to see games like for example Final Fantasy 14. Healers are also expected to do DPS. It's actually a huge change from some of the other games. Like WoW is kind of getting there, where they do expect the healers to do a little bit of DPS depending on the class.
Right.
There
if you're not disciplined.
Yeah. But yeah, there's some classes where you have to DPS to heal, or you have to DPS to heal effectively, or there's some that's just like, why are you DPSing? You're hitting us with a stick. It's not
Right.
gonna do
Yeah.
anything. But it's always interesting, those classes where like your only focus is keeping your people alive. You don't even know what's going on in the battle. It's just like, no, this is my world. This is green bars are green.
Yeah, which like on the Bjorning, with Lotro, you can, you have 3 different trait trees. You can be red line, blue line, or yellow line. Red line, you're DPS. Blue line, you're more of a tank. Yellow line, you're more of a healer. So with the click of a button, you can be in either line you want, and everything's set up. So
Nice.
it's really easy to do, to be any role you want, any role you're comfortable with.
That's
That's
good.
great.
They're all annoyingly overpowered.
Says the monster player. Anyway. Oh, that's awesome. Well, it sounds like you guys got a lot of good stuff coming. It's going to be a busy summer for you guys.
Busy summer and a busy year because there's plenty that is in store. Which for those, one thing that Severlin did say is that it, based on what they see, there's no reason why for decades to come, they have plenty of content that they can do because they've dipped into the in-between stuff because they are on the fan fiction part of it.
Right.
To where they're just taking a sentence, a word,
Right.
area out of it, and okay, let's expand on
Let's
this.
flesh this
Great.
out.
That's wonderful.
Yeah. And also one really cool thing that they're working on is, and they're in the middle of doing it, is they want to do more of 4K support.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's nice.
Better graphics in there than what they have already.
Yeah.
To where if you're running 4K, like I know Marcus does, then there will be better support.
Yeah.
Yes, all the text is very small.
Yeah, I was going to say, yes. Yeah. Yeah. So,
Any other tidbits to share?
Nothing for me, really.
I mean, that's about it. Every 12 to 13 weeks, there's always new content out there. You know, there's always something going. We try and have someone, a character in every level group, no matter what you're doing. We're going to have something in there. So if you want to jump in there or you're just coming back to it, let us know in the Lotro channel. We'll jump in there. We'll run epic battles with you to help you through that content. We'll run skirmishes for fun to help you get marks or just to get levels. No matter what you want to do, we'll run with you. It doesn't matter what it is.
yeah, even if you log back into a character and go, okay, I'm at the last lonely house. I'm this level. What do I do? You know, like, where do I go next? They will let you know.
Yeah, we will definitely let you know because there's plenty of us in there. We've done it many times. We will either help you out in text if you don't want to run with someone, or let us know. We'll hook up a time. We'll run with you.
Yep.
And because there's a chance we have some character in that level range that we've worked on.
Yep.
How AIE works.
Yep, exactly.
Alrighty. Well, it sounds like we might be done for the evening. So that'll be our show for tonight. While the chat room begins suggesting show titles, we want to thank Dux and Mailong for joining us so much.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much.
And we should probably remove that from the.
Well, yeah, we need to get that out of there.
Get that out of the template, Heather. Anyway.
Oh, wow, I got called out. Sure, let me say this next part.
Use your one good arm.
Right?
Exactly.
Oh, I'm using my one good arm for something.
All she's been communicating. It's all sign language.
Yeah.
By the way, that's thieves' cant, for those who don't know.
Right.
Okay.
All right. And if you have questions or comments for the show, you can email us at podcast@aie-guild.org. You can also follow us on Twitter. The show is at AIE Podcast. Mew is at The Mew Cow. I am at Cyberwave. And Tet is at Ivory Tiger. We record live with video every other Sunday. And as we know, the live is where the fun's at. At 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. You can join the chat room and play along with us on our website, AIE-guild.org, podcast-live-stream. And our Discord server for chat is... Well, go look in the AIE Discord under podcast. For past episodes, they are available on our YouTube channel, which is youtube.com, and then search for the AIE Podcast with AIE in capital letters. Our theme, of course, was composed by the amazing Andrew Allen. Follow him at Skis with Soul or visit his website, andrewallenmusic.com.
And next time, we're planning on talking to Kenny and ESO. They've been up to plenty over there. So until then, AIE, this is Mew Cow.
This is Makala.
This is Tetsemi.
And this has been the AIE Podcast.
Yay!
Yay!
Oh, that was an awesome show.
Thank you, guys.
Accidental Brawler, who's the monster, and annoyingly overpowered.
I see some merge titles, personally.
Yeah.
I mean, I do too. Which I will let Dux choose since it's been longer since he's been on. But if I were to suggest one, Overleo or Annoyingly overpowered. Who's the monster?
Who's the annoyingly overpowered monster?
There you go. No, that's wrong. You weren't paying attention.
Pink ducks.
I don't know. I don't have a preference. Annoyingly overpowered is fine. Or we can just call it role-playing game chat, RPG chat.
Hey, there you go. RPG chat, annoyingly overpowered. Perfect.
Which this show is definitely getting more and more into D&D. It's kind of interesting.
We do need to
embrace it.
We do need to schedule a D&D guest show, guy. I'll work on that.
And I have a
different group running.
Yes, and
That would be awesome.
I have
Annoyingly
a.
overpowered.
Go ahead.
Annoyingly overpowered RPG chat.
There you go.
There we go. I like it.
How does keyboards even work? There we go. Yeah, if anyone needs, I happen to have a Jedi Shadow. Let me see if this is rolled up. There we go. Force and Destiny Sentinel rolled up. So
Yeah. Okay, no, he sends me this. Hey, if your DM needs another character for Star Wars, mine hunts Force-sensitive Sith. I'm like, no. Let's not come hunting me. I already have a bounty from the Empire for being a defector. Thank you very much.
And she's a babby. She's a babby Sith. She hasn't gotten anything going yet.
Yes, really. And she's not even Sith. She's just adjacent.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sith adjacent.
Where her powers came from.
Is this the Wizards Star Wars game?
FFP.
It's Star Wars.
FFG, excuse me.
Yeah.
Fantasy Flight?
Yeah, yep.
Fantasy Flight games.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know they did something after the miniatures.
Yeah.
No, there's a full on RPG.
Let me see if I can get this to focus. Yeah. So there's the power card.
There is also though a somebody did a conversion into 5e as well. Some friends of mine are playing.
Yeah, there was. I used to run West End games.
Yeah, I've played that.
Yep, we had
And then after that, they went to the West End Games lost the license. It went to Wizards. Wizards. And then it just kind of went quiet. I didn't know if anything happened after because I knew there was the Fantasy Flight miniatures battle because I couldn't afford it.
Right.
No, they have a whole.
They have a whole. The books are huge and expensive.
Yeah, there's a starter set. Oh, I have it. It's over there. There's a starter set that comes with a adventure. A starter adventure and pre-rolled characters to get you introduced to the system and everything. And we've got PDFs for character sheets, and it really seems like a fun system. Play it.
It's been around since 2013 is when actually the FFG started doing the RPG piece of it. It's a really neat system. It does have specialty dice, which is really kind of interesting. I do like because you can't expand on stuff. Like you can't add more to your abilities until you kind of work through your talent tree. So it's always good to kind of boost your abilities when you make your character. Otherwise, you have to wait a while. It's a good use of your points is doing that. The skills are really fun. It's much like Call of Cthulhu, you have a chance to raise things. You, in fact, get XP after each session, so then you can kind of use it however you want, and you can save it.
Yeah. I know we've been looking at that one because after we're done with Dragon of Icefire Peak, my family, we are more Star Wars fans than D&D fans.
There you go.
Sets, dude.
We do want to possibly get into something Star Wars-y.
Yeah, I would look at one of the starter sets or look at that 5e conversion because it's not an easy system to learn. There is, by the way, though, Roll20 does support it.
Yep.
But that 5e conversion is supposed to be pretty good, especially if your family's starting out with that. That might be a way to look at it.
Yeah.
Okay.
But this is it says a complete standalone game, 3 to 5 players. Basically, you jump in, play as they learn the rules, pre-generated characters and custom dice. It's all in here. So this is a complete like introduction to the system.
Yeah, and primarily what's published is around the Galactic Civil War.
Yep.
Okay.
There's certainly, obviously, if you're doing a homebrew, you can set it wherever you want. Like our current is 7 ABY.
Okay.
So we're a year after the events of Mandalorian.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So, all right. Well, thank you, chat room, as always. I'm going to go ahead and cut the feed. So
yes, thank you, guys.
See you in 2 weeks as we follow Kenny off cliffs.
Yay! Oh, Ted, I just looked. It looks like I'm not going to be returning to the office because I can't drive.
Nope. No, you can't. All right.